This week on Birds of Play, we're talking about the Destiny 2 reveal, Call of Duty World War II leaks, and how Mass Effect Andromeda is doing. This is Birds of Play.
Hey everybody, welcome to a fun time, Season 2, Episode 11 of Birds of Play. I'm Jonathan Tyler McCrone, joined finally, for the first time in a long time,
Logan Anstead.
and the Puppet Master,
Pierce Turner.
Pierce Turner is here.
This is Dublin. Say hi,
This
Dublin.
is Dublin.
All right, lad.
All right, with that fantastic joke, we can get right into the stories. Destiny 2,
Yes.
it got revealed.
I'm excited.
It got revealed yesterday.
Nobody saw it coming.
Nobody saw it coming.
Except for literally everyone.
I'll say this. I didn't play a lot of Destiny because I switched to PC as soon as it came out. From what I saw, I wasn't too impressed with it. I really like this trailer. I like that they're going in kind of a new direction. I like that's going to be on PC. That's a big. That's a big. Plus
Everybody
for
keeps
me.
saying they're in a new direction, but the trailer to me just looked like
More of the same?
It looked like a DLC trailer for Destiny 1.
Well, I meant
But it's a reveal trailer, but
Yeah.
nothing was revealed.
I meant like in like a different direction. They're going on PC. That's kind of what I meant there.
I suppose, sure.
Yeah, I like PC.
The one thing I liked about it, of the initial teaser trailer that just had Cade 6, voiced by Nathan Fillion.
In the bar.
Yeah, it's just that it was a very lighthearted feel. It reminded me of the Taken King lot, which I think was the best story DLC out of everything, because it didn't take itself too seriously, but it actually added to what vanilla Destiny was. And I'm hoping that's what Destiny 2 does. Now, we're going to get a gameplay reveal trailer in the next month and a half or so.
May 19th?
18th,
Yeah,
19th, something
around
like that.
around that.
But yeah, so middle of May. And that'll really tell us what's going to be happening.
That's the one I'm really looking
I
forward
have
to.
a positive outlook for what I'm seeing right now. We're finally getting more about the Cabal, which is the enemy on Mars.
Everybody's least favorite thing about Destiny.
The little monster
But
dudes.
the game looks like it has that tonal shift that Destiny needs. Like it's bad when it takes itself too seriously, because it's just not that type of game.
Nathan Fillion's character was funny.
Yeah.
Props, Props.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
guys did good with that.
What did you think of the new trailer, Dublin? Well, right, it was pretty good, but my least favorite part was there was no gameplay. I'm not sold until I see the gameplay. That's my thoughts.
You know what, Dublin? That's a good point. I come in the same vein.
Well, you're right, Dublin. That's actually the thing Destiny 1 did the best, was its gameplay. That's what kept people
That was
going.
the only thing that kept people going.
Here's my thing about it. Like, did you guys? Cause I know there was the PvP multiplayer aspect. From my understanding, a lot of people were way more in tune with the PvE raid aspect.
Sure.
Is that
Because the PvP seemed very generic.
It was broken.
Right.
It was broken. There was
generic.
no point in the entire 3 years Destiny was going on that it wasn't completely
Just played
unbalanced.
Blade Dancer.
Right. I'm looking. I really hope with Destiny 2 they crack down on the PvP aspect, because while raids are fun and while PvE is fun, you can only do those a certain number of times before they just lose their merit. And also, like, the Destiny raids.
You obviously never played Destiny.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing. The raids are very intricate with trying to get like different things to happen and different like guns and stuff like that. Which, since I didn't play those ones, I could see how those could be fun. But just watching it as like a third party, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is way too much to keep track
Pierce and I
of.
can probably attest to this, that we probably ran the same strike missions maybe 100 times for a few of
Is that what they call raids? Just to
well,
confirm.
They're like mini raids.
They have big raids that are once a week thing, and that's another thing I wanted to get into is I'm really worried about the gameplay reveal, because I need this game to value my time more than Destiny.
I need this game to be nothing like Destiny.
Really?
No, I need this game to basically be Halo. Because
Well, that's a good game.
Exactly.
That's a good game.
If the PvP is just Halo PvP, that'll instantly fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big issue with it, because like when you're talking about the longevity of this, like you would get the best guns through PvE to try to do better in PvP. But the thing was, like Pierce said, it was so imbalanced anyway. So you would just have cycles where like
one particular
gun would rule everything. I remember,
and then they nerf that gun to make it useless, and then a different gun would rule, and that's just the
like
cycle.
Dark Souls.
I remember like the Thorn era was
like
awful.
Dark Souls.
There's
That
no
stock
guns.
meta and rapier meta. Yeah,
Shut up.
You guys know. You know. My fans.
No,
know.
we
This
don't.
is John McCrone. He's only played Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3.
So, in saying that you want it to be more like Halo, do you mean like everybody comes in, they have the same guns? What do you mean?
That would be ideal.
Okay.
That's not going to happen.
Because
I would love it.
That would be against
that's,
the Destiny.
That's how
balance.
other games.
yeah.
I think almost every multiplayer game, like Doom, would have benefited from that. Just to everybody come in with a basic handgun, a basic assault rifle, and then you find stuff.
Like Halo, basically.
Exactly.
Or like classic like COD 4
And
type stuff where
classic
you just pick
Halo.
stuff up.
Because new Halo, they had classes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Classic Halo.
My
Halo
biggest
2.
thing is the time thing, because it's like I remember we would grind strike missions all the time, and we would do the raid every week. And I remember when Vanilla Destiny came out in particular, that I would play for maybe like I'd do that raid every week, and I couldn't ever get to the max light level in the Vanilla Destiny because I just couldn't get that one item to drop.
This is the other thing. There's regular
And
levels and light
the
levels
RNG,
and gun levels.
But
and
no, the RNG
Thomas
aspect of it was awful.
Peter Dinklage levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fixed a lot of the issues going forward, but like the DLC that came out after the Taken King kind of seemed subpar to me. Like it was kind of just like, oh, we're gonna put this out to pay for us on Destiny 2.
Okay.
So hopefully, like Pierce said, I do hope there's a lot of changes from Destiny.
I want the PvP to be a lot stronger.
The thing is,
Yeah.
literally everything needs to be stronger besides the gunplay.
Yeah. I think the gunplay is good. Just I want to get on PC because PCs. But like I really want the PvP to be good.
Oh yeah, and
that's what I want to play it for.
Don't make
it's Bungie, you know?
don't make the cap rate for frames 30 FPS on
yeah,
console.
give me that 178 FPS.
Can we get 60 frames per second on
that
console?
means.
Is it that hard?
Speaking of high frame rate,
Whoa!
you know what else was in high frame rate?
segues.
The Normandy invasions of World War II
Oh,
that we're going to experience in the new Call of Duty game.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
Call of Duty World War II was leaked.
Did you know Call of Duty is racist?
It was leaked. It was leaked in a really weird way.
I mean, but it was leaked in the way that every Call of Duty is leaked almost.
Okay.
A guy just said it exists.
Some guys say it.
Well, I remember last year Shinobi's like, it's in space, and people are like, there's no way.
Well,
to
it's
take
more
it to
like
space.
who got
Yeah.
the information.
Yeah,
Like some family YouTube channel
Well,
got
it's
the
some
information.
family YouTube that
yeah.
like knows somebody at Sledgehammer
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. And the leaks that we've seen, and
It was the main leak was like a steel case, right?
it was a bunch of steel cases, a bunch of concept art for the game, and it's like this really interesting thing because a lot of people are like, "There's no way it can be real" because that name is so awful.
Here's what bothers me about this.
Shoot.
Let me just go on a tiny little rant, a little mini rant. So Assassin's Creed games were made yearly, and they started to suck and suck and suck. So they took a year off, spent some time to fix it, probably, hopefully. Call of Duty games started getting worse and worse and worse until they took the feedback from Infinite Warfare, the one in space, and are making one now that's way back in time in World War II, which means this game was made in much less than a year because they had to have taken the feedback.
I think they've been working on this for a while.
No, here's the thing. They have a 3-year, Call of Duty has a 3-year dev cycle, and they've had that since 2014. Sledgehammer was the first to work on a 3-year dev cycle because after they finished Modern Warfare 3 with what was left of Infinity Ward after this big fallout, if you don't know, the people who made Titanfall, Respawn Entertainment, made Modern Warfare 2 and the original Modern Warfare. That team split off, became Respawn, and the shell of that is Infinity Ward. Sledgehammer stepped in.
And a shell it is.
Sledgehammer stepped in, helped them out with Modern Warfare 3, and then made their own game after 3 years, which was Advanced Warfare. The follow-up to this is rumored to be Call of Duty World War II, which is supposed to be boots on the ground, back to its roots. And it's gotten mixed reception.
Those boots were made for walking.
Not for jump blasting.
Not for boost jumping.
Not for blast jumping.
But no, it's been interesting to see the reception because I've seen a lot of people like, yeah, boots on the ground, but also people are heavily worried because of how the microtransactions have been. Like, Infinite Warfare has variants and new weapons coming out all the time. And it's like, how are you going to do that with World War II, which there's only a certain number of guns?
I can't wait to get the Marilyn Monroe USO show mini package when I pay $5. And it's just a video of her dancing in the Pacific. I can't wait for that.
That's the calling card.
That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be old USO shows.
I'm sure there's gonna be like a crap ton of microtransactions, but the problem is like the thing that's gonna draw people back in is gonna be that it's boots on the ground. It's an old school Call of Duty. It's World War II.
That's what I was gonna say.
The thing that's gonna push them away though is the microtransactions.
I don't give a crap about the multiplayer because I'll have Destiny 2 for that. If I can play a modern AAA game where I can do the Normandy invasions and stuff in the Pacific, and like it looks fantastic, and it's in the Pacific, and like it's really well done. I will buy that game hands down. The reason that Call of Duty World at War is one of my favorite games is because it looks at a lot of battles that many games didn't touch on in World War II, and that game is fantastic for the single player, in my opinion. Multiplayer was okay. In my opinion, the single player is one of the best Call of Duty campaigns out there. I love it.
What sells the game, though, unfortunately, is
multiplayer
and the
USO
zombies,
shows.
which is a big thing that not a lot of people were talking about, is that a return to World War II means a return to Nazi zombies.
I want skater Nazi zombies.
Skater Nazi zombies?
To Twitch like, oh no, the Nazi zombies are back, and now they have skateboards.
Oh, they're like gonna thrash all over you and like
thrash all over the USO shows.
Oh, I'd play that game.
Why would you want that?
Because it's awesome.
That's like Infinite Warfare.
I want to see Hitler Nazi zombie do a heel flip. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Make it happen,
Nice
Activision.
little ollie in your face.
Reverse ollie.
A skater
in my face. So, I mean, you have the most experience with this microtransaction crap. What do you think is going to happen? If they implement it, which they probably are, what do you think it's going to be like?
Okay, so what I hope they do is what they did with Modern Warfare Remastered in the terms of kits, not in terms of the overall system.
Okay.
In that it just changes the way the gun looks, like the aesthetic of the gun. Not necessarily the camo, but like there's physical modifications you can make to guns now in Modern Warfare Remastered. What they're probably going to do, which I'm not going to like, is they're going to find some way to explain variants or some way to explain guns from the future coming back. Like they'll probably make it some supernatural BS multiplayer thing.
Like Nazi, like experimental
so that they can
weapons,
explain, so they can explain in like a Galil coming in or like an M16 or something, and that's just going to drive people away. Because like the thing is, like people talk about it all the time. CS:GO costs $15, and you get access to every weapon, and then you can pay for skins or you can do crates. Overwatch, you pay $40 or $60, you get everything. Yeah. You get everything in the game, and you can buy loot crates, but they're cosmetic only. Call of Duty charges you for everything, and that includes weapons that completely alter the gameplay. And if they continue that, the game's not going to last very long, regardless if it goes back to its roots or not.
Are you worried about the actual time period?
I would have preferred a Vietnam or a modern era, simply because you have more leverage to do with that. And I think even though it's been a while, even though it's been a while since we've had like a solid World War II AAA game, I've played so many of them, and I think so many people have played so many of them. And from what we saw of the cover art, it looked like they were storing the beaches. There are tons of stories to tell in World War II. World War II was literally the most massive conflict we have ever had in the history of humans.
Right.
But there are so many more stories
Well,
to
except
tell.
for the console war of 2015.
Except for the console was 2015.
There's so many more stories to tell than just
But-
storming the beaches.
Here's the thing, though.
That'd be a
Yes.
great war, by the way, to base a Call of Duty on, is
Console
the console war.
But here's what I'll say. Yes, there are a lot of battles that could cover and everything. But in my opinion, if you put out a World War II game that doesn't have, like of this scale, that doesn't have a storming the beaches, like you're crazy.
Sniper Elite 3.
You're crazy.
Well, yeah, but that's Sniper Elite 3. He's not going to be on the beaches, so they get a free pass. But like
There were no snipers in
no
Normandy.
snipers.
According to John McCrone, history buff, no snipers in Normandy.
Because I mean, sure, a lot of people have done it, but every time it happens, people say this is amazing.
Yeah,
people say I love it,
and that's great.
You know,
it's gonna be cool in HD, but like if they focus on that and that is the main thing.
Oh
of the
no, I think that's
campaign,
it's gonna be like what was it, Medal of Honor Frontline, where that was the first mission, then every mission after that was like a secret.
Yeah,
like it was secret mission stuff like that.
want like I'm fine with that being like what Battlefield 1 did is they threw you into with the introduction to that game. They threw you into you're in the boots of a World War I soldier.
This guy likes boots.
And you see
jump boots.
you see them die and you see their obituary and the guy is reading off the stuff. If they do that with Normandy, like World War II was a brutal battle and they're explaining this as you're playing through it, I'm fine with that. But I want to see maybe
I want a Tom Hanks skin.
Yeah, some of the stuff.
I want to see more of Africa.
I want to see Africa. I want to see stuff from different perspectives than just the
Gallipoli.
U.S. military.
Fight some drafts.
Fight some drafts.
They need to make a Call of Duty game that takes place during the Civil War. The Marvel Civil War.
You joke about. Okay, here we go. On that note, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and talk about my favorite game of the year, Mass Effect Andromeda. So let's cut the black real quick.
Awkward facial animation.
Welcome back to Birds. If we could zoom out on this camera a little bit, because I have a special little treat to intro this segment. Put it up. Boom!
It's just
Boom.
a compilation
It's a
of the facial
compilation
animation.
of bad Mass Effect Andromeda
Okay.
facial animations. Okay.
People,
this is what we're talking
I don't know
about.
why this surprised anybody. Mass Effect has never looked good. Like, they're good games, but they've
Debatable.
never
Okay,
looked good.
all right. Can we take
Debatable.
this down now? It's like too much.
Just a little bit.
My epilepsy.
It's there.
Um,
We'll put up a whole screen so you can see the whole screen.
Jeez, they are bad.
They
They're
are.
bad.
They are.
They're
terrible.
bad.
Okay, so
Logan's actually played it though.
Yeah.
So this is mainly him.
I've put about. Can we take it off? God, it's all. I don't want to look at it. Like, stop. It's. Thank you.
Put up a picture of Logan.
Oh, please, God.
There you go.
So Mass Effect Andromeda, overall, not a bad game. It has some of the stadium
That should be
stuff.
the box quote.
Overall, okay.
A ringing endorsement.
A ringing endorsement, 7.3.
IGN's score was meh.
Yeah, no, but people were surprised that it was getting low scores, and the big drama has been around the facial animations, which
The big end drama.
I'm sad to report are literally as bad, if not worse, than what you've been hearing. They are absolutely terrible, and I know this for a fact because last night, before I wanted to reference a little bit more, I went back and I played Mass Effect 2. The game looks better in Mass Effect 2 in a lot of regards than Andromeda does.
So
It's
this
really
is what
bad.
happens when you don't use modern technology, like putting real actors in studios with mocap balls all over their face.
I actually heard all of the mocap actors were horses from Mass Effect Andromeda.
Horses?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all horses.
Oh.
A confirmed fact.
That explains the bad writing.
The thing people
They all
are
just
making
neigh.
fun of is that they put like $40 million into like the casting and like the doing all of this stuff for the game, and it still turned out awfully. And BioWare, who's the developers of Mass Effect Andromeda and the Mass Effect series,
Which, by the way, no BioWare game looks good.
yeah,
So
but nothing looks like
they look
this.
better than this.
Nothing looks this bad. Like it's like they regress back to 2007.
But you were saying the gameplay.
Yeah.
Gameplay's
Yeah, the game.
Good.
Okay, so the beginning of Andromeda is kind of boring. I will admit that. Like, the game is very hopeful, which is a nice change of pace because the original Mass Effect.
Another
were
good
very
box
desperate.
quote.
you mean in tone?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, well, I mean, the original Mass Effect, you're trying to save humanity because we're all getting killed, and this is like,
Reapers.
let's find a new home, and that's kind of like that's a cool thing to do. But like, it was boring in the fact that it reminded me of the beginning of No Man's Sky when you're first finding
That's not good.
Nothing to do.
When you're first finding output, there's literally nothing to do.
But
then it does pick up. It does get better, and the multiplayer, which is something a lot of people overlook, is actually
Good.
very serviceable.
Yeah.
I play
very serviceable.
another box quote.
You're right, because I haven't heard or seen a lot about the multiplayer. What options do we got? Is it just like straight up deathmatch?
It kind of reminds me of like a horde mode type of thing. I played it with a few friends.
So it's all PvE, not PvP?
It's as far as I know from what I played, that's what it was. It's just, but
Is this a game that even needs multiplayer though?
no, it doesn't. It's another tacked-on addition, and that's something that didn't need. They probably could have focused more into.
I mean, this
the
sounds
story,
like
the
back
single
when Mass
player.
Effect 3 came out, when every single game had to have a dumb multiplayer game.
Well, Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was actually developed from another studio. You might have heard of them, Psionics, who made Rocket League. That was the last big project they did before they
And
released Rocket
to
League.
give credit to Mass Effect 3, they worked their home mode into the.
Well, the
story.
facial animations in Rocket League are much better than Mass
There's
Effect.
no faces. But no, it's just this really weird thing because like I would go through, I'm like, all right, this isn't that bad. And
Right.
I didn't personally see any of the issues where people were like, there's a backwards gun in my cutscene, or like this person's walking like they don't have legs.
Which just say those aren't bad animations. That's a bug.
That's kind of
something
funny
that
though.
should have
and
been
yeah,
fixed.
and so I didn't see any of that personally. I know friends had seen that. They
Right.
sent me clips of that happening on PS4. But as far as I know, not to shit on PC again, but like that's what I've seen a lot of them on has been on the PC platform.
Well, yeah, because they don't care.
Yeah.
No one cares about ports.
So it's been unfortunate
It's the
in that
PC
regard,
poor
but
man's dilemma.
facial animations are literally just as bad as you've heard and just as bad as you've seen. They're awkward, especially when you get down to the alien sex, which
I'm
I feel like is
happy.
They look kind of like this.
yeah. It's so, but
But
it's
worse,
so,
with teeth.
the sex stuff in Mass Effect I already thought was unnecessary. It's funny, but like when you add the animations into it, it's creepy. Like it's scary.
Yeah.
What like their O faces are just all messed up?
No, because like so I'm like flirting with like in a sorry chick or whatever, and she's just like, you don't have to do much, and she's like, you don't have to do much.
Well,
and I'm just like, what is going on?
Where
that.
the male protagonist is
That's
hugging,
not a word.
Protagonist.
is hugging this Turian, and he just goes like, and you know what? I
Yeah.
love you. He just stares off into
Yeah,
space
no,
like,
no.
what is
it's,
this?
It's really weird. It's just like, I don't know how they got it so wrong, because like they had all these press conferences talking about how advanced this system would be and how like cool it would see. And granted, a lot of the interactions are just you're like, okay, whatever. The voice acting for the most part is pretty stellar. The female shepherd, or not shepherd,
Ryder.
female rider,
This guy.
her animations are the worst and her voice acting is the worst, which doesn't make much sense because the male rider and most of the other characters in the voice acting department are great. Some of the lines are horrible. Like I was like, am I watching a B-rated or like a D-rated, like a sci-fi original?
I think that one's
movie?
mad at me. Maybe because I shot him in the face.
Yeah, like
This might be easy.
A real line.
This might be easy for me to say as somebody who's never played a Mass Effect game. But are Mass Effect games secretly really bad? Like,
No.
People, are they
They're good.
overrated?
But
I think they might be.
You know
really
what
good.
it reminded me of when I started playing it? It reminded me of Fallout in a lot of regards. Because
In general or 4? specifically?
In general.
Okay.
So 3 and 4 mainly. Just like the animations are weird, but they were like you can kind of toss them to the side a little bit. Like if it's weird to say, but like if you don't look at the screen when there's like really weird conversations going on, like if there's a sexual thing, like I just found myself turning away from the screen.
Start playing your Switch when cutscenes happen in Andromeda.
No, but so like most of the conversations are normal, but there are those few that literally just throw you for a loop, and it's just like this is not okay. Like the voice acting and the actual choices you make save it, because the shooting isn't that great either.
Okay, is anything good in this game?
But he likes it.
Here's the thing, honestly, like I really do like it.
Are you sure you're not just like justifying your $60 purchase?
No, because I got it for $40.
I mean, you put 20 hours into it.
Yeah.
Also.
Here's the thing, I had plenty of things to play over spring break. I finished.
I put 20 hours in Spider-Man 3. Doesn't mean it's a good game.
I finished Until Dawn.
That is a good game.
I put a lot of time in Horizon Zero Dawn.
That has good animations.
Good game.
I put a lot of time into Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Like I was hitting my backlog, but I kept finding myself gravitating back towards Mass Effect Andromeda because there was something about it that was really good. Once you get past the first hour and a half or so, it really picks up. And the idea of being this explorer and being this kind of person that you're discovering this stuff for humanity is just a really interesting concept to me. But there are a ton of things weighing it down.
Do you think, because I've seen a lot of things people say, the damage is already done, they can't fix it. Do you think if they go in there and somehow, which I assume would be a lot of money,
patch it,
actually hire some real actors, not horses, to do the mocap for some of the people, do you think that would fix it?
Here's the thing,
do you think they could
they fixed Mass Effect 3. I mean, the ending fixed it.
Yeah, the ending.
My main thing is like if you have the extra cash to spare, sure, go for it. But if you only have $60 and you have to choose between games that have come out this year, Neo has come out. Nier Automata has come out.
Neo, the new Matrix game.
Horizon Zero Dawn has come out. If you have a Wii U or a Switch, Breath of the Wild has come out.
So
if you
don't get Horizon, because you don't.
The thing is, this year has been so good for games.
It's been good.
That this game being just good or okay is kind of detrimental because there's just been so many stellar games. So I don't think Mass Effect Andromeda is a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think it's a masterpiece by any stretch either. But if they fix the facial animations, honestly, it would be very serviceable. But it's just like
serviceable.
It just seemed like it wasn't.
Word of the day.
It wasn't finished
in
a lot of regards.
Serviceable. My mechanic was serviceable.
Yeah. Synonyms on Google.
On serviceable.
All right, so that was it. We're done.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say about Mass Effect.
Okay,
Mass Effect sucks.
I don't say anything. I like Mass Effect. If they fix the animations, good game.
It's a bit disappointing because people were expecting it to be in like the Game of the Year conversation, but we got plenty of others to talk about.
But I just want to reiterate, not a bad game.
No,
not a bad
game by any stretch.
But
it's serviceable.
It's serviceable.
If your main
whatever
goal
that
is
means.
to have the
It's like
alien
my
sex,
car.
though, don't
Serviceable.
do it. Don't do the alien
Don't have sex with aliens. Logan quote. This has been Birds of Play.
Well, you can wear some space condoms.
Season 2. I'm gonna just cut the black right now. I'm John. That's Logan. That's
I'm Pierce. This is Dublin.
Bye, everybody. Get the gifts back. Cut that back. There they are.
Oh God.
What
about a Full House one where like all at a picnic or whatever and like eating sandwiches?
Yeah.
And crap?
It's great. Mass Effect, good games. Are we out?
Except for this one. Oh yeah, I did encounter.